Shalom, 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 Akim. It's Brother Nasi, man, coming to you. Man, we're doing another live, right, breakdown, man, teaming up, man, with the brother Nakai the Scribe. Go ahead, bro. Well, man, through the Spirit, man, we first and foremost want to give all praise and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, the righteous, right? And this is going out to all the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and the Native American of Negro descent, the so-called, right? And we understand that we are the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of, right? We here, man, bringing out the truth, man, the truth, and nothing but the truth. You see the topic, right? If you're new to the channel, like, share, and subscribe when you come in the building, right? Hit the bell when you come in, right? This is talking about how you need to stay on fire in these last days, man. It's essential. Right, got Samurai on the scene, man. Got all the Akim on the scene, man. Shout out to the swords, man. Got the brother 2 times on the scene, man.
Shalom.
Man. So you know it's all. Get that Hebrews 13 and 11 real quick. 13 and 1.
13 and 1.
Right, because this is how we doing it. This is how we brewing.
That's right.
You know, through the Spirit, man. And this is all love, man, all across the board, man. When you get that, you can bring it out, King.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 1.
Come on.
Let brotherly love continue.
No, I just put it just for some time.
Let brotherly love continue.
Right, so that's what we're doing through the Spirit and also in the flesh, man. We got to let this thing continue. And a lot of times, man, life will bombard you with problems. It will bombard you with obstacles, trials, tribulation, etc., etc. All right, but you got to stay in the Spirit. You got to stay on fire. Revelations 3 and 15, real quick. Right, you got to stay in the Spirit because a lot of things, the Most High is trying to sift you out in these last days, man. Let me get that. Somebody give me that in Ezekiel. What's that? 9, right? Ezekiel 9, right? The Most High will try to sift us out in these last days, and we can't afford. We don't have the luxury to do that, man. We have to stay in the Spirit. So for those of y'all that's tapping in, chiming in, we got the brother Israel Yasha Allah. He gonna be scribing. He's going to be dropping the precepts in the chat. We're going to have multiple precepts coming, right? Let's get that Isaiah 28.
I got a different one. This, give me Luke 22 and 31.
Luke 22 and 31. Right.
Read through 32.
Luke 22 and 31.
Come on, let me
22
get that.
and 31 through 32.
Got it.
Go ahead, bring it out.
This is Luke 22 and 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
He may what?
Sift you as wheat.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted. Salakia. Go ahead. So the Most High said that Satan is going to try to sift us as wheat, man. He's going to see. A sifter is like when you looking for gold, man. For those of y'all watch that movie, Blood Diamond, you know I was going with it. That blood diamond, when you sifting for gold, man, you sifting, it's gonna look like dirt, but when you start sifting through it, man, what's pure is gonna stay in the sifter, and so that's what the Satan's trying to use all of Israel to try to sift us out, man. Don't be that sand, man. Be that precious and that righteous gold that the Most High purified through the fire. Right. Go ahead with that. Start back from the top. Are you?
Luke 22 and 31. And the Most High said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
Mm-hmm.
But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
Right, and that's what our prayer is for all Israel, that all Israel may be saved, and that we may not faint in these last days. That you continue to keep that light on through the Spirit. That's it on that.
Yeah, I got
that Revelation 3 and 15. Bring that up.
Revelation 3 and 15.
Come on.
I know thy works.
I know that what?
I know thy works.
Right. The Most High see what you're doing. And he also see what the enemy's doing, man. He see your adversary ruin, right? Seeking whom he may devour. Right. Shalom to the soldiers of Yahweh on the scene. Shalom, shalom.
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 Right. The Most High sees our enemies out here lurking, man. You see that in Revelations 2 and 9, 3 and 9, 13 and 9. Right, but our prayer is that we all be saved. Continue with that.
I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot.
Come on.
So then, because thou art lukewarm,
there are what?
lukewarm,
Right? Or in between, right? You either hot or you cold in this thing. Right. And that's what we need right now. We need brothers that's on fire for the truth, man. Brothers that's on fire for the most high God. That's gonna ride for the most high. We say it all the time. We not hiding, but we what?
Right.
We riding, man. We riding for the kingdom, man. And that's what this is. This is a brotherhood. That's a band of brothers that's seeking the Lord's, the most high's heart. Finish it up, Lot.
and neither cold nor hot.
Come on.
I will spew thee out of my mouth,
Come on.
because thou sayest, I am rich.
You can yield right there. You can yield. But we just wanted to set the premise, man. So for those of y'all just chiming in, make sure you have your sword, your KJV, preferably, your Apocrypha, right? Your notepad, and last but not least, the spirit, man, the Ruach. So we're going to get into it without further ado. Let's get the first precept, right, about staying on fire in these last days. We're going to be in the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 2.
1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 2. But even after that, we had suffered before and were shamefully entreated.
We had what? Suffered before?
Suffered before.
Come on.
And were shamefully entreated. As ye know, at Philippi, we were bold in our God to seek unto you the gospel of God with much contention.
Right. So we got to understand, first and foremost, we're going to be met with contention. We're going to be met with brothers, with family, right, who might see this truth as fables, as Jewish fables, if you will, right? But the Most High said that we're gonna suffer. Yahweh Shah Mashiach also said, if you following me, roughly paraphrasing, what you think the world gonna do to you? It says also in 1 Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, it talks about how we're gonna be made a spectacle before the nations. Right. So when you coming into this truth, this is not for the feeble and the faint of hands. You got to be coming in this thing to do the work. All right, give me Sirach 2 real quick.
I started when you go to Matthew 5 and 10 through 12, then jump to 20.
Con. Right. Sirach chapter 2. You just read the first 2 verses and we can get to that, Matthew.
Sirach chapter 2, verse 1.
Come on.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare what?
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right. You're gonna be tempted to allow that flame to die. Right. Satan gonna tempt you. Did not Yahweh Shah Hamashiach the righteous? Did he not get tempted?
Right.
Right. When he was put on the mountaintop and he was told to forsake his father. That's the same thing that we're gonna be placed in. Right. And Jacob's trouble is coming, man. Read that.
Verse 2. Set thy heart aright.
Set thy what?
Set thy heart aright.
Right, you got to come, like I said before, it's not for the feeble-handed or the faint of knees, right? You got to set your heart aright when you come into this. Read.
And constantly endure.
And what?
And constantly endure.
You got to constantly endure. That candle, right? That light, right? It's gonna have some wind that comes about it, right? But it's still got to hold this light. That's wisdom, right? We're not just talking about staying on fire just so you can have a light, but that light is wisdom. So you can know how to handle situations, how you can know how to combat your enemy in these last days, right? The scriptures tell you in 1 Corinthians chapter 4, our weapons are what? Not carnal, but spiritual. You got to know how to fight and how to wield this sword.
That's right.
All right. And that's what we're trying to teach you through the Spirit, Lord willing, it bears witness with your spirit. Finish that up. We're going to get to the book of Matthew.
And make not haste in the time of trouble.
Let's get that Matthew chapter 5. Right, we're gonna be in the book of Matthew, chapter 5.
We're starting at
12.
Matthew 5 and verse 12.
Come on.
Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward.
Matthew 5 and 10.
5 and 10. So like
verse
12.
Verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Right. So you're gonna be blessed when you're being persecuted in these last days. When you stand 10 toes down in this thing, you keeping the faith in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, and you keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities, according to Revelations 14 and 12. Right, read on.
For theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Come on.
Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you and shall say all manner of evil against you.
That what they're gonna say?
Say all manner of evil against you.
This brother talking about the Israelites. This brother talking about he got to understand it, right? Yeah, I gotta understand it, man. Right, read on.
falsely.
What?
Falsely.
Falsely accusers, man. It can be those of your own household, man.
Precept.
You got that?
I got another one.
Come on.
Go ahead, let me
Finish that up, Bob.
Shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake.
For what?
For my sake.
Right. And you got to understand first and foremost, everything that you face is not because of you Nakai. It's not because I'm Nasi. It's because of the name that you bear.
Because you are Hamashiach.
Khan. Right. It's because of what you representing, and it's bigger than you. We say that all the time, man. This is not about what camp you from, what banner you're under.
That's right.
Right. This is about being righteous, not right.
Right.
You know, what's that precept that you got, King?
Let me get Romans 5 and 3 through 5.
Book of Romans, chapter 5 and verse 3. Right. You can get that when you get there. Right? Romans 5 and verse 3. And we bringing it out through the Spirit. Lord willing, we pray that you brothers and sisters bear witness and it bears witness with your spirit. Right. We're not doing this just for us to have an understanding. We want all of our brothers to be able to see on the spiritual level too as well. You can bring that out, King.
Romans 5 verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also.
We glory in what?
Tribulations also.
Man, Jake don't know how to do that. Right? The moment we go through tribulations, man, I can't believe you got to glory in this thing. You got to find a way to do it. Read on.
Knowing that tribulation worketh patience.
It work what?
Worketh patience.
Mm-hmm.
And patience experience.
Mm-hmm.
And experience hope.
Right. And that's what it kind of goes on to in Sirach, the 2 and 10, where it talks about looking to the men of old and see whether they who have been forsaken, roughly paraphrasing. And that's where us young brews come in, where we get our experience from on a spiritual level. We don't necessarily have to go through it verbatim, each trial and tribulation, but we look to the prophets, man. We look to the men of old and see how they called upon the Most High Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and how they were not forsaken. So we got to keep that same faith, right? Through whatever we may encounter. We can yield on that. That's it.
Yeah.
Do 5.
Or the 5 verse 5. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of Yahweh is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us.
I got one more. Give me James 1 and 2 through 3. James 1 and 2 through 3.
Right, we're going to the book of James, chapter 1.
Chapter 1, 2 through 3.
Okay.
James 1, 2 through 3. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
Right, and let's pause right there, man. You're gonna go through some things, man. You want to give it up, man. You want to give up this truth, right? You want to forsake the Most High God, or you want to go back into the world. You're gonna be tempted, right? But you gotta keep the faith, man. You gotta wax bold, continue to wax bold in this thing, and the Most High will increase you. What does He say in your latter end? Read on.
Verse 4. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing.
Right, and that's what it's about. Is that you want to continue in this thing. So when you go through each and every, in some situations, we haven't been through all circumstances and all trials and tribulations. But we understand that the things that we have went through, we have been given the tools through the Spirit to be able to wield and fight off our adversary, Satan. So with that being said, we have to use this sword, these scriptures, this knowledge, this experience to be able to put oil in that lamp, man. And we're going to get to that too here in the book of Matthew. With that, I yield. We're going to get to the next precept.
I got another one, but I'm chill.
Come. We got a lot of precepts coming your way, man. We definitely, this is definitely something that Israel needs in these last days. Let's get the book of 1 Thessalonians 2 and 9. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 9. You can bring it out when you get there.
1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9.
Come on, you can read through 12.
For ye remember, brethren, our labor and travail for laboring night and day, because we would not be chargeable unto any of you, we preach unto you the gospel of Yahweh.
Right? You know how we really put time in. Other brothers, pillars, leaders of different congregations, things of that nature. You got to put time in. You just can't pop up and like, let's do a breakdown. You really got to study these scriptures, man. Let me get, what's that? Acts 17 and 36.
Okay.
Let me get that real quick. You really got to search out the scriptures and see whether they be so. Right? Acts 17 and 36. Whoever get that, bring that out.
In the book of Acts, chapter 17, starting at verse 36.
Come on.
Reads thus and so. It says, it's like you said, 36.
Yeah, no,
Acts 17, where you at?
What you
17.
looking for?
It talks about how they searched out the scriptures. There were certain men of Thessalonica. I'm going to digress on that, but it's in Acts 17. Let me get it in my scroll. But what we're trying to say is that you just can't just pop up and you got to be in this thing, man. You got to be in it.
Yeah,
17 and 11.
John.
Kind of bring it out 2 times.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 17, and verse 11.
Come on.
It says, these were more noble than those in Thessalonica,
Come on.
in that they received the word with all readiness of mind,
Uh-huh.
and searched the scriptures daily, whether those things were so.
Right, and that's what you got to do. We can tell you all day, keep your fire lit, King. Hey, sis, you got to stay in the spirit, right? Don't let nothing forsake you. But you got to seek these things out to see whether they be so. We can want it all day for you, but we can't will it. Right, that comes from the Father. He gonna be the one to give you that increase. Right, I yield on that. Back to 1 Thessalonians chapter 2.
Verse 10. Ye are witnesses, and Yahweh also, how holy and justly and unblameably we behave ourselves among you that believe.
Mm-hmm.
As ye know how we exhorted and comfort and charge every one of you as a father do his children,
Come on.
that ye would walk worthy of Yahweh, who have called you unto his kingdom and glory.
Walk worthy. You got to be proved to carry this torch, man. You got to be proved to yield this sword. Everybody can't pick up this thing. Everybody can't handle this. So you got to understand that you got to be worthy of this calling. Right? I yield on that. 1 Timothy 1 and 18. We're going to let these things fly rapid fire through the spirit. I pray the seeds be sown and the Most High water that thing and get an increase. Bring it out.
1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 18.
Come on.
This charge I commit unto thee.
This what?
This charge I commit unto thee.
Hey, the Most High done charge you up in this thing. If you feel like you've been called, you feel like you've been predestined, you feel like you've been justified, right? You have been charged, right? And you can't take this thing lightly. Read on.
Son Timothy, according to the prophecies which went before on thee,
Mm-hmm.
that thou by the mightest war a good warfare.
That them Midas war a good warfare. So he already hey, Timothy, look, son. Hey, I'm sending you on your way to go to Thessalonica, but this is a war out here. I done built you up through the spirit to give you everything that you need, but you got to make sure that you are using these tools to your advantage, right? And that's who we are through the spirit as your brothers. We trying to give you every essential tool that the Most High showed us through the spirit, and that He has showed our forefathers through the spirit, so that you can use these things for your advantage, so that we can, Lord willing, get the kingdom. But you got it. But it's dark out here. But you got to keep the lamp on, man. All right, let's sit on that. Con 1 Timothy 4 and 10. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 10.
3 and 12.
1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 10.
Come on.
For therefore we both labor and suffer reproach.
Right, so it's already letting you know, Timothy, you got to work for this thing. Right, it tells you in Luke 9 and 62, right, that any man that put his hands to the plow and then he turns back is not fit for the kingdom, roughly paraphrasing. So you got to labor. You got to do some work to keep that lamp on, right? Just like even in today in Esau's kingdom, man, these bills don't pay themselves, right? You got to do some work to keep these lights on, right? But that's on the carnal level. We talking spiritual. Read on.
Because we trust in the living God.
We what?
We trust in the living God,
Uh-huh.
who is the Savior of all men.
Right. So it's letting you know the reason that you suffer is because who you trust in. The reason that your light may flicker a little bit, that the wind may blow hard, that the elements may prevent your light from shining, is because who you serve. Read on.
Especially of those that believe. These things command and teach.
Mm-hmm.
Let no man despise thy youth.
Let what?
Let no man despise thy youth.
What it say?
Let no man despise thy youth.
Hey, you already know what it's for, man. Let no man despise thy youth. And that's what we're talking about with the experience. Did not the Lord deal with Solomon? Right. Was he not the wisest man to walk upon the earth outside of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach? Don't let nobody despise your wisdom, man. You can be in this, and the Lord can be dealing with you. That's where the light comes from. It comes from the Father. So don't let nobody else tell you you don't have an understanding. Right? I'm saying something? Come on, man. Let's keep going.
Verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth,
Mm-hmm.
but be thou an example.
But be what?
But be thou an example
Come on.
of the believers in word.
Right, you got to still be a light, man. Even in the midst of the dark times, somebody trying to snuff you out, man. You got to still be an example to those who look to you. I tell people all the time, I don't have the luxury to be in my feelings with in my flesh when I'm facing adversity. I wear too many hats through the Spirit. Nakai wear too many hats. We got the Lord's, the Father's work to do, right? So, and it's a worldly saying that says that the kids see us crying, they say, "What the hell you think they gonna do?" So we got to keep our light on, man, so we can show them how to continue to shine in these dark places, right? I yield with that. That was 1 Timothy. That was chapter 4, 10 through 12. We're gonna get to Philippians 1 and 14. Philippians chapter 1 and 14. Two times. Let me get 2 Timothy 1 and 15 through 18. 2 Timothy 1 and 15 through 18. We're going to speed this thing up through the Spirit. Right? If y'all just chiming in, make sure you like, share, and subscribe when you come in the building. We're dealing with staying on fire in these last days. It's essential, man. Read that, Nakai.
The book of Philippians, chapter 1 and verse 14.
Come on.
And many of the brethren in the Lord waxing confident in my bonds.
Waxing what?
Waxing confident in my bonds.
Right, because some lamps, you like, man, that thing been shining all day. It got a lot of oil in it. How's your lamp looking, Israel? Or how much oil do you have in your lamp? That's wisdom, right? How much studying are you doing? Because this is what's essential in staying on fire. Studying, praying, fasting, right? Doing breakdowns. These things will help you stay on fire. Right. Continue on now.
And many of the brethren in the Lord waxing confident in my bonds are much more bold to speak the word without fear.
You see that? Read that again, verse 14. Baba Kashar.
Philippians 1 and 14.
Come on.
And many of the brethren in the Lord waxing confident in my bonds.
By my bonds. That's why the brothers gonna look to you. It's called I'm gonna put a name to it, like jumper cables, man. Sometimes a brother might be low. Brother alternator done went out. You know what I'm saying? Brother need a charge. I need you to be in the spirit in the car, because some days I might need you, King. So you gotta be waxing mighty, so I can be able to rely on you and your bonds. Right? Go ahead, King.
Are much more bold to speak the word without fear.
And over time, and that comes with time. Over time, you'll be able to. I ain't afraid to bring this thing out, man, because I know that not only is this for me. Give me Sirach 33 and Sirach 33 and I think it's 17, real quick. You still holding that 2 times? Come on, Sirach 33 and 17, because this is not about us, right?
Sirach 33 and verse 17. Consider that I labor not for myself,
right? Because you waxing mighty in your bonds, not just for yourself individually. Because you laboring not for yourself only, but what?
But for all them that seek learning.
Right. Seek wisdom. Seek continuing to keeping that light on. Right. So that's what it's about, right? How much knowledge are you storing up? And are you using this knowledge? right? We're gonna yield on that Sirach 33 and 17. Back to Philippians.
Verse 15. Some indeed preach Christ even of envy and strife,
Mm-hmm.
and some also of goodwill. The one preach Christ of contention, not sincerely, supposing to add affliction to my bonds.
So you're gonna when you're real sincere about this thing, it's gonna add affliction to you. Because we say it all the time, when you was in the world, that you feel like Satan really wasn't trying to touch you, but the moment you start walking circumspect, the moment you start trying to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, that's when Satan starts trying to tempt you, man. That's the same thing that happened with Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. The moment he got baptized, right, he was led away in the wilderness for 40 days, man. Satan was on his bumper. That's the same way when you come into this truth, right? With that, let's jump down to 17, Philippians. Let me get verse 17, then give me 24.
Verse 17. But the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel.
Right, you got to defend your flame. You really got to make sure that nobody can blow this thing out. And you're going to fight tooth and nail, man. Right, give me verse 24. Philippians.
Verse 24.
Come on.
Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful for you.
Right. 25.
Verse 25. And having this confidence, I know that I shall abide and continue with you all for your furtherance and joy of faith.
Right. And so you got to have confidence in this thing. Ultimately, that's what this is about. Confidence that this light is going to sustain you through these dark times, right? And you got to endure, Israel. You have to, right? With that, let me get that 2 Timothy 2 times. Give me 1 Thessalonians 5 and 7.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1, starting at verse 15. It says, "This thou knowest, that all they which are in Asia be turned away from me, of whom be like you have right now."
2 Timothy 1 and 15. Read to 18.
Whom are Philologus and Hermogenes. The Lord give mercy unto the ones of Onesiphorus, for he oft refreshed me, and was not ashamed of my chain.
Come on.
But when he was in Rome, he sought me out very diligently, and found me. The Lord grant unto him that he may find mercy of the Lord in that day. And in how many things he ministered unto me at Ephesus, thou knowest very well.
You can yield right there, all right? But that's what this is talking about. Don't be ashamed of this light that you've been given, man. This is an opportunity. There's a lot of brothers and sisters that need this understanding, that don't know who they are. They don't.
You can't be ashamed, because if you're ashamed, you really don't believe.
Come.
And that's in Sirach chapter 2. We just went over that.
Right.
We just went over that.
Right. If you really believe in this thing, you're gonna stand by it. You're gonna stand on it. Right? Because this is the rock.
It says it's powerful because it says, "Was not ashamed of my chain," because we are prisoners of Yahweh Shah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we can't be ashamed of the gospel, nor ashamed of the Messiah, nor ashamed of our love for this truth, man. We gotta hold fast to which is good.
Right. You hear that, Israel? We gotta hold fast to that which is good. That's First Thessalonians 5 and 20 on down. Right. Next precept. Right. Philippians 3 and 6 through 8.
1 Thessalonians chapter 1 and 5 through 7.
That's what I want. 2 times, if you can give me that. In the book of Philippians chapter 3 and verse 6. You can read through 8. Right? Let's go ahead and get an understanding. Go ahead, King.
1 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 5.
Read through 9.
For our gospel came not unto you in word only, but also in power and in the Holy Ghost.
It's like, and you don't know what you really, some of us don't really know the power that light holds, man. You don't really know how dark somebody's life is until you pull up on it. And you feel like your little understanding just might be for you, but it can be night and day, pun intended, to somebody who's been in the dark for a long time. So you got to understand that, man. It's always bigger than you. You need your brothers and sisters need you, man, right now.
That's right.
It's not about how many breakdowns you got, how many precepts you know. It's about what the Lord is doing in your life.
Hey, we need each other, man. We can't make it in this thing without each other.
Come on, man. And that's what it's about, man. We gotta, the 1/3 is the 1/3, man. We gotta come into this understanding collectively. It's not just one by one. I mean, it's one by one essentially, but we gotta all be of one mind, as it says in 1 Corinthians. Read on with that, King. That's it.
Nah.
Go
But
on.
also in power and in the Holy Ghost and in much assurance, as ye know what manner of men we were amongst you for your sake.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. And ye became followers of us and of the Lord, having received the word in much affliction.
Mm-hmm. In much what?
In much affliction.
Come on.
With joy of the Holy Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So that ye were examples.
You were what?
In examples.
Right, there you go again. That examples, man. Examples. All right. Brother's gonna look to you, man. It's something about that, brother. Every time I see him, and he always in the spirit. Man, I know he might be going through some things. I can't never just see what is it? And that we say that too about the light, right? When you've been in the dark for so long and people see that light in you, they ask one or two things. They ask, where you get that light from? I need some of that, or turn it off. It's blinding me, right? Lord willing, you want to deal with the brothers that say where you get the light from.
That's right.
Right. That's what we're dealing with. Right. That's what the Most High is dealing with. Right. Go ahead, King.
Verse 7. So that ye were examples to all that believe in Macedonia and Achaia.
Or America and Babylon.
Come. Right. You can yield right there. Next precept. 2 times you got that. Give me Proverbs 22 and 13.
3 and 6.
Con. This is the book of Philippians chapter 3 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
Read through 8.
Con. Concerning zeal.
Concerning what?
Concerning zeal.
Concerning your light. Read.
Persecuting the church. Touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless. But what things were gained to me?
Mm-hmm. It says blameless. We're going to speak on that because Most High don't give the oil to everybody. He's not going to give everybody this understanding. So when you feel like, when you know that the Most High is dealing with you on a certain level, then you got to be a good steward of that. You can't use this thing and abuse it. We was kind of dealing with some brothers earlier about that, dealing with this sword, man. This sword is to, what'd you say, it's to
heal, not kill.
It's to heal, not kill. Right? And that's what your lamp is to do. It can show somebody the way, or it can blind them and keep them from coming into the light. Right? Pick back up on that 2 times.
Verse 7, Philippians chapter 3 and verse 7. But what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahushua, my Lord,
Right.
for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Christ and be found in him.
Right. And some days you're going to feel like dung, man. Some days you're not going to feel like you want to be in the spirit. Some days you're just not going to feel up for it. Right. But like I said earlier, in the scriptures are saying right now, you don't have time to not be in this race. Right? You have to put forth the effort, and you got to constantly endure in these last days. Come.
This is Proverbs 22. I'm going to start at verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
He that loveth pureness of heart. He that loveth pureness of heart. For the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend. The eyes of the Lord preserveth knowledge, and he overthroweth the words of the transgressor. The slothful man saith, there is a lion without, I shall be slain in the streets.
Right.
So you got to put your best foot forward with this work, man. When you got when Most High has given you a light, who are you to dim it? Who are you to be slight? Who are you to be slack? Say the righteous is bold as a lion. And we got to keep that type of zeal from here until the chariots come.
Good precept, good precept. Proverbs 20 and 4. 2 times. Give me Proverbs 19 and 24. About the show.
Proverbs 20 and verse 4.
Come on.
The sluggard would not plow.
The what?
The sluggard would not plow.
And we're not dealing with the most Salakia. You
Agree on
understand?
that. I agree with that.
Con. The Most High Yahweh is not dealing with no sluggards,
That's right.
aka niggas. He not dealing with that. You gotta put off that old man. You gotta mortify him.
That's right.
That's right.
Right. And when you come into this thing, that's when he starts increasing that light. Right. He gonna kill that old light. What the elder say? He said, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna bring you back to life. I'm gonna kill you again. Right? That's what the elders say, and that's what the Most High is doing. You cannot think that old light, that old understanding, because that's what the light is, first and foremost. What's that? Second Ezra 14:25. Right, let's get there real quick. You cannot think that the old man's understanding, that light, will get you into the kingdom. It's not going to happen. You have to put it off. Go ahead, Art.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 25.
Bring it out.
2 times. Let me get Psalms 18:28. It's Psalms 14 and 25.
Come on.
Come hither, and I shall light a candle of understanding.
What he gonna light?
I shall light a candle of understanding.
Come on.
In thine heart,
Right.
which shall not be put out, till the things be performed of which thou shalt begin to write.
Right. So the Lord is trying to light a candle of understanding, but you got to give him something to work with. It's like a candle has a wick, man. You got to give them something to work with, man. You can't just be that one candle. You know how your auntie and your mom, she got that one candle that smell real good.
I'll never light it.
But no, I'm talking about the one that she done burnt to a crisp. The wick done gone out. You got your hand in the candle jar, burning your fingernails
Trying
off.
to get that mother light.
Hey, you got to give them something to work with. You got to become a new man. Right? You got that precept in Psalms out?
Come on. Psalms 18:24.
18:28.
Come on. This is the book of the Songs of David, chapter 18 and verse 28.
Bring it out, Art.
It reads, "For thou wilt light my candle. The Lord, my God, will enlighten my darkness."
Come on. And you got to ask yourself, is the Lord lighting your way? Let me get that Psalms 19 light to my path.
Am I ready there? The book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 105.
Come on.
Thy word is a lamp unto my feet.
Right? Because that's what essentially that's the starting. That's the start point.
Job 22 and 28.
Right. You got to use this word to pour that, to give you that oil.
Okay, let me get John 8:12.
Right. So
The word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path.
Right, because essentially you need to know which way you're going. You can't be stumbling and stammering in the noonday, or Salakia, or in the darkness. You need a light, right?
I got one. We don't let them fly around the
Come
world.
on.
This is Psalms 119 and 130. The interest of thy words giveth light. It giveth understanding unto the simple.
Right. As soon as that word comes in, it should do one, two things. It should enlighten you. You'll be able to tell a brother by his fruits too as well when you tell him a precept, and it might go over his head, or it might resonate with his spirit according to Romans 8 and 16. Then you know, okay, this brother ain't the Most High dealing with him, right? So he says that his word at the entrance giveth wisdom.
That's right.
Right. Go ahead. Some precepts.
Come on. This is the book of the prophet Job, chapter 22. And what verse you wanted up?
28.
Come on.
Actually started 26.
Come on, verse 26.
Started 23 and read 28.
Come on. The book of Job, chapter 22.
You got it, Nash.
Starting at verse 23.
Job 22 and 23. Bring it out, King.
If thou return to the Almighty.
If thou do what?
If thou return to the Almighty, thou shalt be built up. Thou shalt put away iniquity far from thy tabernacle.
Come.
Then shalt thou lay up gold as dust, and the gold of Ophir as the stones of the brooks. Yea.
Salakia. And that's what that light is.
Mm-hmm.
That light is going, if you've been in the dark, that light going to expose you. Imagine if you just in the dark, and you are in the midst of all your adversaries, iniquity, sins, transgressions, and you finally get that one flicker, like them scary movies, and you kind of look up and you see everything around you, man. And then also you see what's in your hand. You got a whole bunch of iniquity, man, that you're dealing with. So you got to use this lamp, this light, to show you what you need to be, not who you are, but who you're not.
Real quick, classic precept. Job 11:14. If iniquity be in thine hand,
Put it far away.
Yep.
and let not wickedness
Dwell
dwell
in thy tabernacle, man.
For
But-
thou shalt lift up thy face without spot,
Con.
and yea, thou shalt be steadfast and shalt not fear.
Right? Because anybody can, hey, on a carnal note, man, anybody can just bring something into your house, man. You don't know what's going on.
I got some more. Because thou shalt forget thy misery and remember it as waters that passeth away.
Mm-hmm.
And thine age shall be clearer than the noonday
Mhm.
when it's the most light in the day.
Con.
Thou shalt shine forward. Thou shalt be as the morning. So that's again referencing that light.
Come
You know what I'm
on.
saying? When you moving and walking in righteousness, your light gonna shine. Just like it says in Ecclesiastes 8:1, wisdom causes a man's face to shine. Right?
That's right. That's right. Who else holding?
At John
Finish
8.
that out 2 times. Leave some more on that.
Con,
And then the cock got one.
Book chapter verse, Ark.
con. This is the book of Job, chapter 22, reading on, starting at verse 25. It says, Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense,
Mm-hmm.
and thou shalt have plenty of silver.
Hmm.
For then shalt thou have thy delight in the Almighty, and shalt lift up thy face unto Yahweh.
Mm.
Thou shalt make thy prayer unto him, and he shall hear thee, and thou shalt pay thy vows. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light
That's right.
And the what?
shall shine upon thy ways.
All right, man. That's what it's a beautiful thing to just know, like, wherever you go, man, it's just light, man. It's wisdom, it's knowledge, it's love, it's peace, it's joy, it's meekness, it's all the fruits of the spirit, man. You can't knock it.
And the Most High don't care how many precepts you know.
Come
He care about how many precepts you show. Right? Keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments is an action. It's something you bring forward. It's not what you learn. It's not the knowledge. It's the wisdom that you display through the knowledge that you gain. Right? So like that here.
Come. All praise, man. Let's get to what you got, John.
John 8 and verse 12.
8 and 12.
Then spake Yahushua again unto them, saying,
What do you say?
I am the light.
I'm what?
I am the light.
What is it, the Most High?
I am the light.
What is your house, Shai?
I am the light.
Go ahead.
I am the light of the world.
Mhm.
He that followed me shall not walk in darkness.
So that same light that we've been referencing, this is the spirit of Hamashiach. The wisdom, the knowledge, understanding, the laws, what's a lamp unto your feet. It's the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's why he said, I am the light, right? Because he came to do his Father's will, which is the law, statutes, and commandments, the same spirit that we're supposed to be moving in.
Come. That's it on that.
That's it.
Give me John 3 and 19. Same chapter, same book. So like,
Read through 21.
John 3 and verse 19.
bring it out.
And this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world.
Pause right there, because a lot of times the brothers think that you got a light. They feel like you coming for them.
Mhm.
It's not me, Rock. It's not me. It's the light is the condemnation. I'm just a bearer of the light, as the brother John said. Read on.
And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world.
Uh-huh.
And men love darkness.
Love what?
Men love darkness rather than light,
Come on.
because their deeds were evil.
They're what?
Their deeds were evil.
Right, because that light is going to expose you, man. And you
Read through
should
21.
keep going on that.
Verse 20. For everyone that doeth evil hated the light,
Mhm.
neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved.
And that's big.
Mhm.
Like the Ak was saying earlier, two things happen when that light come on. Hey, where you get it from? Turn it off.
Come.
Because I'm out here cutting up. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And the darkness is shielding me. Right? I got a precept. This is back in 2 Ezra 14, verse 20. Behold, the Lord, I will go as thou hast commanded me, and reprove the people which are present.
Mhm.
But they that shall be born afterward, who shall admonish them? Thus the world is set in darkness.
It's said in what?
It's set in darkness,
Mm.
and they that dwell therein are without light.
Right, and that's even to today's time. Are you gonna be that brother? Or are you gonna be that sister to be able to light the path to enlighten somebody who they are, their nationality, who the Most High God has chosen? Are you gonna be that? Because it's dark times right now. They need to know that. Right.
Verse
got some more?
21. For thy law is burnt.
Mhm.
Therefore, no man knoweth the things that are done of thee, or the works that shall begin.
Right. And a lot of times they we was watching that movie Nat Turner 12 years, and it says Birth of a Nation.
Mm-hmm.
And the sister Gabrielle Union had just, Esau had pulled up on her and wanted her,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the brother, he's like, I'm not doing it, Nat. I'm not doing it. And they all three of them stood outside, and the Edomite did it. And the brother went over there and grabbed his rib after she had been defiled. And he come walking by Nate, and he said, "Where is he now? Where's your God now?"
Yeah.
But later on in the movie, he saw the suffering and the affliction that Nate had been through on the behalf of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at Nate like, "Damn, that brother." He commended that brother. Then he looked at Nate, and Nate was like, "Hey, he's still here." And that's what we trying to let our brothers and sisters. Hey, you not alone in this thing. We know the suffering and the persecution that we have been placed through in the systematic slavery, etc., etc. As a people, we see it, and the Most High does too. But He has not forsaken us, man.
Ain't no individual like this. I mean, a lot of us, even within ourselves, we get so caught up in our walk and our tribulation, our personal strife, we don't realize that, hey, bro, all of us going through it. This whole nation, we get the same penny. We bear the same burden. We got the same curses. All of us going through the same thing. But as long as we yield on each other and lean on each other, it's easier to bear. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ.
I remember the precept, or I forgot when we had went through, but about the sister that lost her son.
2nd Esdras 10.
Yeah, I think.
Let's pull it. 2nd Esdras 10.
What verse?
That boy doodle.
Con, bear with us, Akim, man. We out here. We're giving edification through the Spirit, man. Stay on fire.
2nd Esdras chapter 10. You there? 2 times. Bring it out.
We want it at the top. On top.
Let me find it.
Yeah, I think it's from the top.
Bring it out then. Right. I can only fathom, man. What that
start at 9 and 41. No.
We're gonna be
9 and 38.
Come on, this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, and verse 38. It says, "And when I spake these things in my heart, I looked back with mine eyes, and upon the right side I saw a woman. And behold, she mourned and wept with a loud voice, and was much grieved in heart. And her clothes were rent, and she had ashes upon her head."
Salakia. And so now even referencing this movie, not to get too far off in it, but not only we dealing with a light here. You can only imagine how a sister who has been defiled, right, and ashamed, right. Not only the head of this woman feeling like he didn't have no might in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Both of their flames being just almost snuffed out, man. Read on, all right?
And that's powerful because you think about the man shame. This woman got to go back to her husband now.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Defiled.
Go ahead.
Reading on, verse 39. It says, "Then I let my thoughts go that I was in, and turned me unto her, and said unto her, Wherefore weepest thou?
Mm-hmm.
Why art thou so grieved in thy mind?
Why is what?
Why art thou so grieved in thy mind?"
Read.
And she said unto me, "Sir, let me alone, that I may bewail myself, and add unto my sorrow. For I am sore vexed in my mind, and brought very low."
Mm-hmm.
Right, so she want to stay in the darkness. That's what's going on here. She said, "Hey, look, I see what you're trying to do, bro. Just leave me be."
Mm-hmm.
And that's us. We can't let our people stay in this lower state. Read on, King.
Verse 42. "And I said unto her, What aileth thee? Tell me. She said unto me, I, thy servant, have been barren, and had no child, though I had an husband 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
In those 30 years I did nothing else, day and night, and every hour, but make my prayer to the highest.
Mm-hmm.
After 30 years, Yahweh heard me, thine handmaid.
After what?
After 30 years,
Mm.
Yahweh heard me, thine handmaid.
Pause for the call. Shout out, double honors to the elders, man. Double honors to the elders.
Been in this thing for 30 years and 30 years plus.
Con. Imagine they could have just got to that 30 and be like, "Yo, look,
That's it.
but they ain't cracked the sky yet." I'm
I'm finna
about to crack this brew. God. I'm through. Right? And that's that's real though. We dealing with Jake, man, when we dealing with the scriptures. This is not, no blue collar Christians we dealing with here. We dealing with Jake. After 30 years, this brother ain't came through yet. Hey, let me go ahead and turn it. I gotta reserve some of this candle. I've been trying to shine bright like a diamond, and it ain't even happening. Right? So that's what this sister was going through. She said, let me just go ahead and just be real. Or as she said, let me what? Give me that verse. Hold on one time. She said,
Verse 45.
She said something about her mind.
Oh, verse 41.
41. Let's read that.
Verse 41, and it reads, and she said unto me, Sir, let me alone, that I may bewail myself and add unto my sorrow. For I am sore vexed in my mind.
In my flesh. You so caught up in what's in your circumstances, you would allow that to dictate how mighty your flame could resonate or how little it can go out. Don't allow your situations to dictate who you are.
That's right.
I yield with that.
I appreciate it.
Go ahead.
This is 2 Esdras chapter 2 and verse 1. Thus said the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments. But my servants, the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despise my counsel. The mother that bare them said unto them, Go your way, your children, for I am a widow and forsaken. I brought you up with gladness, but with sorrow and heaviness have I lost you. For you have sinned before Yahweh your power, and done that thing is evil before him. But what shall I now do unto you? I am a widow and forsaken. Go your way, O my children, and ask mercy of Yahweh. As for me, O Father, I call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children, which will not keep my covenant, that thou bring them to confusion, and their mother to a spoil, that there may be no offspring of them.
Right, and on a spiritual level, a lot of Jake uses their light for monetary gain, for worldly gains.
They pimp themselves out.
And you selling yourself short. You selling yourself out. Right. Don't use this the light, the gifts, the talents, right, to go back into the world. Right. You got to edify and magnify the ministry. You got to push this truth.
That's right.
You got some more on that, King?
One more. Let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth.
Because those who doing that, that's what's going to happen to them. Right? They're going to be scattered among the heathen, and their name is going to be put out, man. And they're not going to be written in the book of life. Thus said the Lord.
For they have despised my covenant.
Don't despise this lamp, man. This light. That's it on the precepts.
It's a lot more in 2 Esdras.
We're gonna get to it. Let me get the book of Proverbs 19 and 15. Proverbs 13 and 4.
I got 13 and 4.
And let me get Sirach 21 and 14. Right, let's start with that. Proverbs 19 and 15.
This is the word of wisdom out of the book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 15. It reads, slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep.
Right. Start at 14 and read through 17.
Starting at verse 14. House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord. Right,
because those things come from you. You inherited those things, right?
Verse 15. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul, but he that despiseth his ways shall die.
Right? When you despise his truth, when you despise his life, the Most High gonna send something your way to snuff you out. You're not gonna store up your treasures. You're not gonna store up the oil. I need that, man. What's that? Matthew 14, the oil.
25. You talking about the virgins?
Come 25 and 14.
25.
Let's get that. 25 and 1 through start at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we gotta get this, man. Because we've been talking about oil all day. Salakia. Go ahead and bring it out when you get there, Art.
Matthew chapter 25, starting at verse 1. It reads, Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins,
Come on.
which took their lamps, and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps, and took no oil with them.
Right, so you're gonna be the 5 that got the oil or 5 that don't. Read on.
But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered. And
Pause
slept.
for the cause. Why would they bring oil? Because they know that they need. You got. It's gonna be some time. It's a time constraint. You got to be able to endure.
Right.
I just can't. And you know how Jake be. I'm gonna get on Jake real quick. It's like gas, right? We know gas high as hell right now, but Jake, man, he do the minimum, man. He try to get 5. Let me get 5 on 17.
Hey, Jay gonna piece it together. I just need to get there.
Right. But ultimately, Akim, man, you know, I was speaking to the choir, man. But ultimately, man, we gotta go in there.
You are the choir.
I'm the choir. Right. But ultimately, man, we gotta go in there. Hey, man, fill it up, man. Like the old-fashioned days. You pull up to the point, and the brother Esau standing there. Hey, fill it up, man. I don't care what it costs. And that's why we got to be on the spiritual level. We got to be like, hey, man, we're going to fill this thing up, man. Keep going on that Matthew 25, man.
Come, verse 4. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps.
Uh-huh.
While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept.
Uh-huh.
And at midnight, there was a cry made.
At what?
At midnight.
You see that? It was dark. It got dark on them boys real quick. And then
It got what?
it got dark on them real quick.
Quick precept. This is Psalms 104 and 15.
Come on.
And wine that maketh glad the heart of man, and oil to make his face to shine, and bread which strengtheneth man's heart.
So when it get dark, you gotta make sure you got that. It's like a generator, man. Right when the lights go out, you fumbling through the dark. Hey, get that flashlight, brother. You gotta make sure you got that generator, man. It kick on immediately. Right, read on.
Come on, verse 6. It says, and at midnight there was a cry made.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise,
Mm-hmm.
Give us your oil.
Give us what?
Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out.
Now I know the Most High say be your brother's keeper, but you know how hard I done work for this oil, Art? You know how long I done searched for this thing in these last days? You know how hard it is to get real wisdom? I can't do that, man. And I already told you where I got it from. You mean to tell me I done shared my location with you? Where I got the oil from and you didn't pull up? And now it done got dark and now you telling me you want my oil? I can't do it. But I can't do it. Go ahead, dog. Salakia.
John, verse 9. But the wise answered, saying, Not so.
What did he say?
Not so.
La.
Lest there be not enough for us, but you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us.
What they say?
Lord, Lord, open to us.
Right, you looking for the handle, you looking for the doorbell, the door knocker. You trying to find whatever you can to get the Most High to answer the door because you in the dark. and you didn't have no light. Go ahead.
Come on, verse 12. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I
Come.
know you not.
I what?
I know you not.
Now you're not shining like one of my sons. You're not shining like one of my daughters. You don't got the light like them brothers and sisters. Right? I don't know you. My light don't look like that. Read on.
Verse 13. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh.
Mm-hmm.
For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country,
Mm-hmm.
who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods.
Con, you can yield right there, Ox. You can yield. But ultimately, we went to this parable in Matthew 25th chapter to show you that you can be the 5 with the wisdom, the 5 that's really studying to show themselves approved, the 5 that's seeking wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, or you can be the 5 that's going to wait to the last minute, to wait till 11:59, and then when 11:59 hit, the lights go out, and they're going to be looking for this truth. Right? You got to ask yourself, who are you? All right, I yield with that point. Let the precepts fly. Let me get the book of Proverbs 13 and 4.
Yep.
Come.
Proverbs 13 and verse 4.
Let me get, you got Sirach 21 and 14 2 times. The water. Go ahead with the
Proverbs 13 and verse 4.
Come on.
The soul of the sluggard desireth and hath nothing,
Mm-hmm.
but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about. If you sluggard, you're not going to get anything out of this. How can you get anything when you're not putting it? You're going to get what you put into it. You're going to get you're going to get out of it what you put into it. I'll say that. Right. Go ahead with that Sirach 21 and 14.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 21 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
The inner parts of a fool are like a broken vessel.
Or like a what?
Or like a broken vessel.
Right, because like a fool, he don't know how to process this wisdom, this knowledge. That's what makes him a fool. Read on.
And he will hold no knowledge as long as he liveth.
That's what a fool. He don't know how. It's not in him. Give me 1 Corinthians 2, chapter 2, real quick. And you can start at verse 10.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 2, starting at verse 10.
Come on.
But Yahweh hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit.
By his what?
By his Spirit.
Come on.
For the Spirit searcheth all things.
So a fool can't search the Spirit, because he can't search the wise things of the Most High, because he not spiritually discerned. And that's what this whole chapter kind of goes into. I'm not gonna get into it too much, but that's 1 Corinthians 2 and verse 10. We're gonna keep it rolling through the Spirit. Let me get 1 Corinthians Nakai 16 and 18 and 2 times you can give me Sirach 37 and verse 12. A couple more precepts I can the water for y'all tapping in, staying in with us, but it's talking about you need to stay on fire in these last days, right? You need to be seeking wisdom, knowledge, and understanding wherever you can, however you can, staying diligent, expedient in prayer, fasting, and doing the work of the Most High, right? I yield with that. Go ahead,
1 Corinthians 16 and 18.
Mm-hmm.
For they have refreshed my spirit.
They have what?
Refreshed my spirit.
Or rekindled, man. Sometimes you can get around, bro. You can be so vexed, man. You just, and all you needed was just like a little boost, man. That it's like, hey, on a spiritual level, imagine a flame. If you're dealing with the elements, let's go scientific real quick, right? You're dealing with the elements, the flame. What does it need?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. What is oxygen?
Life.
What is it though? The element. What element is it? Oxygen. It's air. It's wind.
Right.
What is wind? The ruach. It's the spirit.
Yeah. See,
Okay.
Follow me.
I said breath, but life.
Oh, you said
first.
breath? Okay, I didn't catch you.
I didn't know if you was on carnal spirit.
Okay, come. But ultimately, we that flame, man. In order for us to keep that thing going, we need that breath of life. We need that ruach. We need the spirit to continually to be fed, to feed that fire, man. Right, but you got to be in the Word. You just can't wake up and go about your day. Nah, you ain't pray, but you didn't look at the precept of the day.
Right.
You done got out there and Esau done got on your bumper. Damn, I hated this job. You didn't even gird yourself up, man.
Yeah.
You didn't even get ready for the warfare. Right? Go ahead with that. All right. Read that again. We get that 2 times.
1 Corinthians 16 and 18.
Mhm.
For they have refreshed my spirit and yours.
And that's what it is for me, man. When I need my brothers, man. I need my rib. I need my brothers, my sisters, man. To and like, cause some days I'm out of it, man. So I need y'all to refresh me, and I'm gonna refresh y'all. Go ahead.
Therefore acknowledge ye them that are such.
And that's what you gotta put. Hey, the most I say, mark them. And you gotta mark the ones that's gonna take away from your flame or add to it. Hey, that's just real, right?
And that's what going to that to the summit, it was a big
Romans
refresher.
16 and 17, real quick.
That was a refresher right there.
That was a refresher.
Yeah,
Come.
putting you back up there in the spirit, being around the brothers.
Right. And shout out to Masha'Allah, Yasha'Allah, right? Soldiers of Yahweh, Yahweh's camp, all the other camps that came out to the summit, man, WFI, SOT, Rise of the Chosen, all them brothers, man, Fishermen of Zion. You know, it was just a beautiful build to be able to come there collectively, and that was a perfect example in the Cut the Water on how us being there, all this us under one banner, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and being able to kind of just increase our flame and leave on a high. We all refreshed each other, man. We got back to our homes. We telling our sisters, our ribs about, man, you should have been there. We showing pictures. And we in the spirit, man. Right, go ahead with that Romans 16 and 17 2 times.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 16 and verse 17.
Come on.
Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division.
What do you say?
Mark them which cause division.
And you got to mark them that which cause division is trying to take away from your flame, man. Read on.
And offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
Come now let me get Hebrews 10 and 25. Right? Off the shoot from the hip. Right? Hebrews 10
and 25.
Come on.
Not forsaking the assembly.
Hold on, Salakia. Go to 24.
Verse 24. And let us consider one another.
What does it say?
Let us consider one another.
Right, we got to consider one another because we need to be, what, as the scripture say, refreshed. Read on.
To provoke unto love and to good works. Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves.
Right, not taking away from the brother, but adding unto him. Read on.
Of ourselves together, as the manner of some is.
As the manner of what?
As the manner of some is.
Because you got to look out. Some of them like that. There's some. Hey, that's the truth. This is the truth. Right, read on.
But exhorting one another.
Right, not extorting. But exhorting. Right, that's a SUC inside exclusive joke, man. We're gonna let y'all know who that's geared towards. But we're gonna exhort our brothers, man. We're gonna make, hey, bro, I see the work that you're doing out here, man. That's mighty, King. Keep doing the work. The Most High gonna increase you, man, in the latter end. You gotta speak these things, man. You gotta make them manifest through the Spirit, man. Read on.
Exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching.
Right, not just today, man. You know, the clock is ticking, man. It's getting darker and darker and darker. You got to make sure because you got to be your brother's keeper, man. I got my light. How much oil you got in the car? You good? All right, cool. I'm just making sure you good. You see what happened yesterday in Russia? You see what happened? We got to be also aware of these current events. Right. That's going on in these last days, because that's what's going to be the telltale sign for you. Now, no man knows neither the time nor the day.
Right.
But these are going to be deciding factors on when we see the day much more approaching. Right. The as the scriptures tell you, I think it's in Jeremiah, the birth pain, the labor pains.
Yeah.
Right. That's when they increase. Right. It might start off like, then they're going to speed up rampantly. I yield with that point. A couple more precepts. What you holding 2 times?
I still use them with that Sirach 37 and 12.
Con. Let me get that. Give me First Maccabees 2 and 27.
Con, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 12.
Sirach 37 and 12. Bear with us. Bring it out. All right.
Con, but be continually with a godly man.
With what?
With a godly man.
And that's kind of talking about what we was talking about, refreshing. Make sure you surrounding yourself around brotherly God-fearing, commandment-keeping, Torah thumping, Yahweh Shah Mashiach loving brothers, man.
That's right.
That's what you got to be around. Read that.
Whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord.
Right. You can't be guessing. I don't really know about that, brother, man. If you got to guess, hey, it's best for you not to. Hey, you got to Sirach 6 and 7 there, bro.
Right.
But you don't put your salvation on the line. If you know that the brother or sister is suspect and you kind of still, hey, what they say, eat the meat, and you got to spit the bones out, right? I yield with that point. I'm not going to get too far into on that topic, right? What you got in the car?
First Mac 2 and 27.
First Mac 2 and 27. Watch this.
And Matthias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying,
What'd he say?
whosoever is zealous,
Is what?
zealous,
Right? Whoever, I'm looking for the brothers that got the mightiest light in this thing. Or potential. When you see brothers, we see brothers on the corners, man. And so like I gotta reach out to a brother. He pulled up on us at camp. I told him I was gonna get with him. But he was real zealous. Hey man, I've been looking for Hebrews, man. I finally see y'all. Where'd you get your friends? He asking all the right questions. Them the type of brothers that you want to be around, man. Right? You gotta have a zeal about you, man. Give me Revelations 3:19. Real quick. Revelation 3 and 19.
It's the book.
Off the hip.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 19.
Come on.
It reads, as many as I love,
Uh-huh.
I rebuke and chasten.
Come on.
Be zealous, therefore.
What does it say?
Be zealous, therefore,
Uh-huh.
and repent.
Right, because them the brothers that's gonna be quick to repent. Them the brothers are gonna be quick to admit, hey yo, Salaki, I was off. Them the brothers that's gonna be quick to, hey yo, I don't know, maybe you didn't consider this, but I'm just putting this because I'm your brother. Them the brothers are gonna help you keep your light on, man, in these last days. Right, I yield with that point. Back to that first Mac 2. What was that? 27.
First Mac 2 and 27.
Mhm.
And Matthias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant,
Mhm.
let him follow me.
I don't want no other brothers around me if they're not being zealous of the law or they're not following Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Period. Point blank. All right, next precept. Proverbs 24 and 15 through 16.
Proverbs 24 and verse 15.
Give me Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 14. Salaki. Go ahead, God.
Lay not wait, O wicked man.
Lay not what?
Lay not wait, O wicked man,
Come on.
against the dwelling of the righteous.
Come on.
Spoil not his resting place.
Right. Spoil not his resting place, that tabernacle, the temple. Don't come in here and try to take the precious things out of here. We're trying to keep the lights on, man. Read on.
For a just man falleth 7 times.
He fall what?
7 times.
Come on.
And rises up again. But the wicked shall fall into mischief.
Hey man, as many times, and what this is saying on a spiritual level, man. I know we trying to do our best to stay in the spirit, but sometimes, some days, some things might dampen that flame a little bit. But hey, keep lighting that thing, man. Stay at it. Don't let it go out, man. Right? You fan the fire, man. All right, read on. That's it on that?
Yep.
Go ahead with that Proverbs. All right.
Wisdom of Solomon.
Wisdom of Solomon, Salaki.
God, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9. We'll start at 13. For what man is he that can know the counsel of Yahweh? Or who can think what the will of Yahweh is? For the thoughts of mortal man are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain. For the corrupt body presses down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle weigheth down the mind, that museth upon many things. Hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon the earth, and with labor do we find the things that are before us. But the things that are in heaven, who had searched out?
Right, and it says, with labor are you going to find those things? Right, and I tell people all the time, like if something is just given to you freely, you can freely just as freely as it has been received, you can freely give it away just as quick. But something that you don't work hard for, something that you don't put your time into, your blood, your sweat, your tears, you're not gonna freely give that thing away, man. You're gonna make sure, hey, if I'm gonna give it away, I'm gonna make sure the next person is gonna be appreciative of it, right? on a real note, just dealing with real spill. Like I seen something the other day through the spirit, and I seen a brother that. Let me give 1 John 2:19 real quick. When we make a point, I pray that this bears witness with you. Right, First John 2:19. Because we talking about like if you work hard for something and you don't tilt this ground, you don't build something through the spirit, you're not just gonna give it to nobody, right? Freely, unless you know that they appreciate it, right? And we talking about dealing with brothers accordingly. Bring that out in 1 John 2:19.
God, this is the book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 19.
Come on.
They went out from us, but they were not of us.
There was what?
They were not of us.
And you got some brothers that's gonna come around you. They're gonna want to get that light. They're gonna want to get that understanding. They're gonna take away from what you got. I had a brother that we was dealing with through the spirit, and you know, this is what gave me assurance through the spirit. Like Nasi, hey, these things are gonna happen. I continue to do the work. I gave a brother, he was getting built up in this thing, man, and he was studying. He knew he wanted to be an Israelite. I had 2 apocryphas at the point in time, and I gave the brother apocrypha. All right, gave the brother apocrypha, man, and you know we were studying. He was coming to my house. We getting it in, having study sessions. And a couple months later, hey, the brother fall out the truth. Hey, I'm thinking on the corner, like, hey, I want my apocrypha back, bro.
Yeah, I got some guts in there.
Yeah, man. You know how many precepts I have marked up in that thing?
Hey, I can't swore the egg.
Con, and that's gonna happen. You're gonna be out here and you're gonna feel like a brother's willing to labor with you, man. But the Most High get an increase, man.
That's right.
The Most High said that, hey, he didn't forsake you,
But you know
he
what?
forsook me.
Scripturally, carnally, and spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he look at that apocrypha, he think of the truth and he think of you.
Con, I pray he open it up.
Every time
I see every precept I got marked
every
up
time
in there.
brothers
Man.
look at that gift, that's that physical and spiritual gift that you give to the brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to me as well. They think of the truth and they think of you.
Con.
You know what I'm saying? So
All
it's not done in vain.
Mm-hmm.
You planted the seed. It's not up to you to water it. You know what I'm saying?
Finish that with 2:19. I think it kind of hits on that.
Were not of us. For if they had been of us,
They would.
If they had been of
If
us,
he was supposed to be here,
they would not select it. They would no doubt have
continued
continued with us.
he would still be here.
mm-hmm.
But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us.
Con. And that light is an understanding, even in these last days. Hey, we got a lot of different talents in this room against this Akim. Right. When it get dark out here, when this Jacob trouble hits, we got brothers in here that's got all different trades, all different understandings, right? All different gifts. So when it get dark out here, we're gonna be able to collectively, we're gonna keep the lights on the spirit. You got the Tom Warner brothers in the building, man.
Good.
But with that, I yield, man. A couple more precepts, man. We gotta go there, man. What you holding, King?
The Wisdom Solomon just came up. I got Sirach
4:17.
Yeah.
Lastly, 2 times if I can get Sirach 1:26 through 27.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Come on.
The book of Sirach, chapter 4 and verse 17.
Come on.
For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways.
Uh-huh. Read up a little bit, because who is this she that he's talking about?
That's a good precept.
That's the will.
That's wisdom. Come on.
Start at verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Sirach 4 and 15. Whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nation.
Start at 12, actually, like it.
That's what it is. That's what she he name dropper.
Sirach 4 and 12. He that loveth her.
It's like it. It's 9. It's 9.
It's 11, so it just said 11, but I go at 9.
9.
Sirach 4 and 9.
Right, this is Sirach, the 4th chapter. We have verse 9.
Oh, I'm in Wisdom of Solomon. Oh,
but that's where it said.
Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 9 talking about the same thing.
Good.
Oh, so where you want to start?
Sirach 3 and 9 is still good.
Okay, I started.
Hold on, no, go to 11. That's 11. I ain't burned with this Akim. Sirach chapter 4 and verse 11.
Wisdom exalted her children, and layeth hold of them that seek her.
Uh-huh.
He that loveth her loveth life, and they that seek to her early shall be filled with joy.
Pause right there. Even you want your, not just your brothers,
I
you
said
need
it
your
is.
you need your children to see the light in you. Your children need to know that, man, I can you see that flame? My daddy's just my Abba, he's just shining bright.
The person was it.
Yeah, he got a real zealous. Right? You don't want your children to look at you and he be like, or that your child look at you and he be like, man, my flame bigger than yours. Huh? Right? Read on.
Salakia. That's it. And they that seek to her early shall be filled with joy.
Mm-hmm.
He that holdeth her fast shall inherit glory. And whosoever she entereth, the Lord will bless.
Come on. And that's what this is about, being blessed. Read through 17.
They that serve her shall minister to the Holy One,
Mm-hmm.
and them that love her, the Lord doeth love.
Mm-hmm.
Whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. If a man commit himself unto her,
Mm-hmm.
he shall inherit her.
He shall what?
Inherit her.
Right. If you really put this time in, you really put this work in, the Most High gonna give you that oil to light that path until Yahweh shall come and crack the sky.
So what is that her?
That's that wisdom.
Precept. This is the wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 4. For unto a malicious soul,
Wisdom
shall
enter
not
in.
enter.
Come on, read that again.
For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter.
If you really if you got a worldly carnal spirit on you, the Most High, as it says that the Most High can't enter into an unclean vessel, right?
I'm gonna finish this out. I got one more. Nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin, for the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide with unrighteousness cometh in.
Right, you got to be able to hold that flame at certain different angles. You got to hold that thing. You know, when you get run down real low, you know what I'm saying, that wick get up, you got to hold it at a certain angle so it can make sure that thing stay bright. You got to be strategic, man, with this thing. Right? I yield with that.
There's more on this. For wisdom is a loving spirit, and will not acquit a blasphemer of his words.
Mm-hmm.
For Yahweh is witness of his reigns, and a true beholder of his heart, and a hearer of his tongue.
Right. So you can't forsake this truth. Right. If you just coming into this thing, you finding out who you are, make sure you're around brotherly brothers.
So like I have precept. This is Sirach 20 Salaki. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. I'm gonna start at 22. For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit.
Right.
Holy, one only, manifold, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good, kind to man, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understanding, pure and most subtle spirits.
Bro, you gotta stop at the 27. I
know it.
Con.
For wisdom.
For what?
For wisdom.
Con, this light, read on.
Is more moving than any motion.
Right, because light casts away the darkness. Right.
I'm gonna refinish the chapter.
Con.
She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness.
Come on.
For she is the breath of the power of Yahweh.
Right, watch this.
And a pure influence. Flowing from the glory of Almighty.
Right, and that's what you got to be a pure influence. Right, you got to be sowing seeds of righteousness. You got to be making sure that you're influencing brothers to keep their light going.
That's right. Keep
influencing sisters to stay in the spirit.
That's right.
Right, come on.
Therefore, can no defiled thing fall into her,
Come on.
for she is the brightness of the everlasting light.
You see that? The brightness of the everlasting light. That's what that wisdom is. All right.
The unspotted mirror of the power of Yahweh, the image of his goodness.
And that's spiritual too. We talking about a light and an unspotted mirror. Talking about showing you all your infirmities. Talking about showing you all your iniquity, every bump, pimple, blemish. And you're gonna be able to look into that thing, and wisdom gonna show it to you. It's gonna reveal it. It's gonna make itself be known. Right. So don't run away from wisdom because you don't want to see what you don't want to face the facts. And that's what our brothers deal with Galatians 4:26. You become your own enemy because the wisdom telling you the truth. Are you?
Give me Sirach 19:19 2 times. And being but one, she can do all things. And remaining in herself, she maketh all things new. And in all ages entering into holy souls. She maketh them friends of Yahweh and prophets. For Yahweh loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. Give me that Sirach 19.
Most High ain't dealing with no brothers that gotta dwindle in light. You gotta be the elect, the 1/3. You gotta be really doing some type of work in this thing. Right? Are you?
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 19.
Bring it out.
The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life.
Is the what?
Is the doctrine of life.
Read 18 first and read through 20.
Come on. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 18, starting at verse 20.
No, 19 and 18, and then read through 20.
Okay, so like the book of Sirach, chapter 19, starting at verse 19.
18.
So like 18. So like it says, the fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love.
And what?
And wisdom obtaineth his love.
Read.
The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life.
Is what?
Is the doctrine of life.
Go ahead.
And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
Read.
The fear of the Lord is all wisdom.
Is what?
Is all wisdom.
Is what?
Is all wisdom.
And
in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
of the what?
Of the law.
And
the knowledge of his omnipotence.
that the wisdom is what covers all things, right? It is the fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance, the action, actually doing the law.
Right.
That's how you display your wisdom.
Correct.
Right. I'm gonna finish this out. I got one more, and I'm gonna hand it over to you.
Correct.
Verse 29. For she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all the order of stars, being compared with the light, she is found before it.
That's spiritual too. Like wisdom, he said she is more brighter than the sun. If you really got wisdom, man, you talking about the sun hot, man, you can really shine. You shine bright, man.
Like the sun bright,
right?
And it says, this what it say? Above all the order of the stars, being compared with the light, she is found before it. For after this cometh night, but vice shall not prevail against wisdom. I got one more, and I'm gonna yield to you. Now, this is Sirach 1. I'm gonna start at 23. A patient man will bear for a time, and afterward joy shall spring upon him. He will hide his words for a time, and the lips of many shall declare his wisdom. Right? You gotta pick and choose your battles. The parables of knowledge are in the treasures of wisdom. And godliness is an abomination to a sinner. If thou desires wisdom, keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto you, unto thee.
Oh, praise. So if you desire wisdom, you desire understanding, and lastly, you desire the kingdom, you got to get this wisdom, man. And lastly, closing, what better? You got one precept?
No, it was he read the last precept.
Con, I got one more. I got one. Oh, that was it?
Yeah, that was
Con
right.
through the spirit.
Freestyle.
Con. Proverbs 4 and 5. Start at 4 and 5. And I
Read through 7.
9.
Proverbs 4 and 5.
Come on.
Get wisdom.
What does it say?
Get wisdom.
Get a light, man. Right? Read on.
Get understanding.
Come on.
Forget it not.
And forget it not. When you get a light, hold on to that thing. Read.
Neither decline from the words of my mouth.
Right?
Forsake her not,
Right?
and she shall preserve thee.
Hmm.
Love her, and she shall keep thee.
Right. You gotta keep this light. This is your best interest, man. You need this thing. Read.
Wisdom is the principal thing.
This light is gonna be the principal thing. Read.
Therefore, get wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
and with all thy getting,
Mhm.
get understanding.
Right, and on a spiritual level, the book of Eli, shout out to that brother Denzel, man, on a spiritual level. It was real dark out there for that brother. But he had wisdom. He was able to see. When everybody else who had eyes to see, what's the scripture say? Their eyes that they might be darkened. Right? They don't have the eyes to see. Right. Continue on that.
Verse 8. Exalt her,
Mm-hmm.
and she shall promote thee.
Mm-hmm.
She shall bring thee to honor when thou doest embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace,
Mm-hmm.
a crown of glory
Come on.
shall she deliver to thee.
Keep going.
Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom, I have led thee in right paths.
Mm-hmm.
When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble.
Come on. Right. So we got to understand that this wisdom is the light, the knowledge and understanding. Psalms 19, right? John 3 and 19, and a plethora of other words, precepts. But we bringing this to you about staying, how you need to stay on fire. We pray that it's definitely been edifying, that the precepts bear witness with your spirit. It's essential in these last days for us to collectively gather together, man. We a nation that's not desired, and the more that we gather ourselves together, the more precepts that we can come together on, the more understandings that we can gain, the more that our light may increase, right? And the more that we may increase in wisdom. But with that, we yield. We're not going to keep y'all, man. It's Brother Nasi with SUC.
Brother Nakai.
Brother Samurai.
Israel.
Brother Isaiah Israel.
And what you say? SOS? What's y'all?
At SOS where we ain't stressing the
12 tribes is the best, man. Shalom, man. So with that, man, we're going to give y'all shalom. Shalom.
Kwame Ashala.
Kwame Ashala.
Kwame Ashala.
Kwame Ashala.
Kwame Ashala.
Kwame Ashala.